John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing a brand new head by Wac'Em. Wac'Em's been around a while, but now they have an expandable, just called the 3-blade EXP Broadhead. And thanks to a viewer who donated a pack of these, I'm able to put them to the test today. But I got to apologize, I don't know who it was. Thank you so much if you were the one who sent it to me. I usually am very careful to mark, multiple times so I can keep track of it, but somehow I put the wrong name on this one, and I am so sorry. If you donated this pack, please let me know, and please accept my apologies, but thank you so much for donating this pack for me to test. And so I'm going to be using my regimen for 2024, and for a detailed description of all that testing that I do and why I do it and how I do it and how the scoring works and so forth, please check out the video that I posted earlier this year called 2024 Broadhead Test Process. I'm going to be using my new Elite Era bow. I am loving this bow for most of the shooting. For the flight test, I'm using this Killer Instinct SWAT X1 crossbow because it's very accurate, and I really am liking shooting this. I can use it on a bench, a tripod rest to make it extra accurate for flight testing. And I'm using all Bishop Archery arrows. I'm using the FOC Kings for most of the shots, the fat eliminators when I shoot stuff into concrete, and then I'm using their crossbow bolt called the GOAT. Okay, it's really a cool bolt. But let's zoom on in here, check out this mechanical by Wac'Em, and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at the head in the closed position. It's a pretty cool looking broadhead right here. So first of all, the materials, it's all steel. You've got an all steel ferrule, and you've got this hardened steel tip, and then you've got all steel blades. The blades are 0.027 inches thick, so kind of on the thinner end as far as blades go. But then this tip, again, looks like extra durable as it's hardened, and it looks like a really nice chisel / cut on contact tip. Now you also notice that the tip and the cutting of that tip is in the same plane as the blades. So it's not going to add any extra cut to it, but it is going to maximize penetration as they're cutting in just 3 planes like that. The way it opens is these prongs, which are not sharpened, push back upon impact, and they push back relatively easily, and they roll this O-ring back, and so we can roll it back here. And here's the head in the open position, and that gives it a full cutting diameter of 1.5 inches, which 3 blades at a 1.5 inch cutting diameter gives you 2.25 inches of cut. So really nice size cut and relatively swept back blades. Not super supported, so we'll have to see how durable they are on a hard impact. And this is a pretty narrow tip right here. Not sure how durable that's going to be in a hard impact, but it is all steel just at the same time. Really like the looks of that tip as well. As for a total length, it is right about 1.4 inches. So not too long compared to many mechanicals. And for sharpening this, the Stay Sharp Guide Replaceable Blade Guide works really well with it. Really eager to put this Wac'Em to the test and see how it performs. The Wac'Em got the solid 9 ring. It took 184 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus it gets a bonus for being below the standard of 200. It penetrated 9 inches. But I will note that the last 1.5 inches of that is just that long, narrow tip, and it doesn't open on impact, so it's going to penetrate a bit better than most heads. It took an additional 78 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is an 8.44 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 53 layers, again aided by that long tip that's pretty narrow. held up pretty well through the 3 shots in the MDF, but you can see each of the blades got bent back a bit by that impact. Here it is after the 2 shots through the MDF, and you can see the tip got a little bit blunted. And the first shot, all 3 blades bent back considerably, and then on the second shot, one of the blades just broke off. Here's a good look at the Wac'Em after all the durability tests. It did fairly well through the MDF, and then after the steel plate, it bent pretty much and it lost a blade through the steel plate, but it did okay through that. And then it stuck into the center block, but it just couldn't hold together. So I'd say it's pretty much average durability as far as a mechanical goes. I mean, I don't think any of this would be a huge problem on an animal, but it is just good to note the overall durability. So what'd you think? Man, it did really well, right? I mean, I wouldn't say there was any, giant surprises, but it certainly wasn't disappointing. It flew really well. It just overall performed well. So, hey, check out the score sheet and see the specifics of how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if this might be a good fit for you. I think it's worthy of consideration. And stay tuned for the overall cumulative score, as well as the corresponding less grade, and also the list of all the discount codes that I have so far, just to pass on some savings to you.